Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome to a long-awaited Fringe reaction. Season 2 episode 13, What Lies Below? What Lies Beneath? Something like that. In the last episode we had a rather interesting episode that was neither filler nor main story related. Whatever the main story happens to be at the moment, I'm not entirely sure. It was a diversion, a break away from the norm to visit a group of people that live in isolation because of genetic deformities that they incurred while engaged in experiments, not necessarily of their own, forced, not necessarily voluntarily, and it came to a nice conclusion that they were going to be left alone. No one's going to bother them. It was fantastic, but it was a good enough episode, but it could have been done better. Now, don't ask me to explain that, because all I'm going on is a kind of similar episode that occurred in Torchwood that was done to very good dramatic emotional effect. Last time's Fringe episode didn't really have that impact, although it was quite emotional. It just didn't have the same sort of impact. So this is why I think it could have been done differently or been done better. But on the whole, it was a good episode. But now, what lies beneath? I don't know what lies beneath the surface, beneath the earth. I don't even know what that's relating to. So I guess we have to continue. And I do apologise for the lateness of this video. I've just been tied up with all sorts of things at the moment. But I'm free now. And hopefully we can get a few done. Okay then, 1, 2, 3, go.
Whoa, hold on. Man, you don't look so good.
Oh dear, think you better get out of the elevator. I alert someone.
I think something's wrong with that guy.
Yeah, okay then, good.
Sir, you have to sign in.
Oh God, so what's he been dosed with?
He's dead.
Yes. And you've just done mouth to mouth with someone that could be infected with anything. Oh God, it's spores. Oh, brilliant. So now they're all infected. This is obviously part of the invasion.
Detective, I'm Agent Dunham. This is Peter Bishop.
Detective Castle. We've been taking witness statements trying to figure out what went down.
I think they're all infected.
No one knew him. No one was expecting him. I don't even think he knew where he was going himself. He got off the elevator, seemed confused, and then collapsed.
Thanks.
Mike, the courier rode up with him.
Which one's Mike?
He's sitting right over there.
Oh, it was. He's infected because he did mouth to mouth.
We've got a deceased male, age 50. We believe he's from the Netherlands. Walked into Vitas Petrol at 7:30 this morning and his veins ruptured.
Oh, I see. Vasculitis could be a cause. Oh, John, not John.
Yep.
Building must be quarantined immediately.
Excellent.
In or out.
I mean, it was always going to lead up to a quarantine, wasn't it? Okay, so what could have infected him?
We think we're in the midst of a virus contamination. The Centers for Disease Control are here.
Are you saying we're quarantined?
For now, yes.
What happened to Mike?
He was infected.
Is he dead?
So I'm gonna need to separate you into groups. Those who were near Van de Kamp, if you could gather in one of the boardrooms.
But they've all been mixing with each other, so right. It almost looks like that that fungus that zombifies insects and then controls them.
You know, I can't find the name Van de Kamp anywhere in his database.
Well, you must have been here to see somebody. How
No,
far back did you go?
2 months.
they already told you that no one knew who he was or why he was there.
But it's important that we all stay.
Can I talk to you in private, Mr. Ames?
Right, now we get the truth.
Okay, I know Mr. Van de Kamp was here to see you. Your schedule was rearranged yesterday and your morning was cleared out. Why was he here?
He came here to sell me some information from one of our competitors.
What kind of information?
All he said was it was from a recent reserve find.
It's possible that Van de Kamp came in contact with the virus there, so do you know which oil reserve? Which competitor was it?
He wouldn't say. All he said was, I have something to show you. Something I would find very valuable. He was supposed to be gone before the staff came in this morning.
If we can isolate the strain, we may be able to understand this virus's personality. Well, at least there's one piece of good news. I believe the virus is not airborne.
No?
No, if it were, there'd be many more people showing signs of infection in that building.
So how are random people contracting it? It's got to be airborne, surely.
No. Whatever.
And now she's going to explode outside. Yeah, there you go. It is. It controls your brain to get you to the most populated area you can get to infect the most amount of people.
Peter, no!
Can't wait any longer.
Stop it! Get away from him
I
now!
got his blood on me. If I wasn't infected before, I probably am now.
Peter, this is insane!
They're down there, and we're up here. And they're not sending anybody else up. This is our last chance to figure out whatever it was that he came here to try and sell. Rental car keys. Never take anything into a negotiation that can land you in jail.
The courier only spewed as he approached the glass doors, and from what you've said, the receptionist showed an irrational desire to get outside, and then she sprayed. The virus compelled her to leave the building. It wanted to get outside.
You're saying the virus made her jump?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
This is exactly what happens with that fungus spore that infects ants and other insects.
Among other things in the briefcase, we found a drill core sample from an exploratory oil dig. This is our virus. Dr. Bishop, can you find a cure for it?
Maybe in time. But right now, we need to keep the safe people safe. Now that I have an isolated sample, I can produce a tox screen. At least we can identify who's been infected.
Call the State Department. Get approval for a level 6 eradication.
Level 6.
We don't know how to contain it.
First up, Vincent Ames.
How will I know?
If you're infected, the solution will turn black.
Not infected.
Okay. Okay.
And Walter's never been so happy to say that.
Let's get this first group downstairs.
Vincent Ames. Olivia Dunham. Peter Bishop.
Wait, stop. He's bleeding from the nose. He's infected.
Just have to get outside.
It didn't work.
Get him away from the door.
Just have to get outside. I just have to get outside. Look at me. Just look at me. I'm fine. Just look.
No, you're not. He's going to try and headbutt himself through the door.
Yeah, the test was wrong. I don't know how, but he's bleeding from his nose and he's still in the building.
Okay.
That means the test doesn't work.
They've finished the talk screens.
I heard. 11 civilians infected and your colleague.
11, wow.
So what do we do now?
Extract the rest of the ones that tested negative. And the State Department has authorized us to have the Army move in and contain the rest.
The army?
Yeah.
It's the only definitive way to make sure that the virus is eradicated.
There's still a dozen people in that building. You cannot tell me that killing them is our only option.
It pretty much is.
Come with me. We have no symptom blocker, no cure. What solution do you propose, Agent Dunham?
Exactly. It's got to be contained the only way you can.
If I had an animal, a cat or a mouse. No. No. No, there's no time for that, of course. We can't let Peter die again. And he's going to.
It worked. We're not seeing anything. That seemed to wrap up rather conveniently and rather quickly.
Inside, upstairs, when you said, I can't let Peter die again.
Thought that you got away with that one, didn't you, Walter?
What did you mean by that?
I'll tell you
Some
later.
things are meant to be left alone, Agent Farnsworth.
Yeah, but she's not going to leave that alone. This is where it starts to come out. And I hope they don't drag that one out for too long. Because now that Farnsworth is suspicious with that statement, it would be rather stupid to drag it out for 3 seasons. So Peter's gonna, or at least the secret will be out. Maybe not Peter, but the secret is now out, and Farnsworth is gonna dig. We know that. Okay, very interesting episode. It's almost as if the producers locked into my nightmares, because I need to just quickly look something up, because that was so reminiscent of that fungus that infects ants and other insects. It's usually ants, and it causes them, it takes over their brains, and it causes them to climb out in the open to a high, for an ant, branch, and there the thing bursts out of its head, only to infect more ants. Cordyceps, the cordyceps fungus, that's it, the cordyceps fungus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, that's what it reminded me of. And I've often wondered whether something like that could ever infect humans. Because if it could, that would be so scary. So yeah, nightmare fuel. Absolutely nightmare fuel. I'm glad they didn't go the whole hog of having the thing burst out of its skull. But even so, it was still nightmare fuel, that episode. And we're going to get into what happened 30 odd years ago with Peter. So all in all, yeah, an episode that moves along the plot quite nicely. And I should hope so. Now we're in the second part of the second season. I would hope that the plots are starting to tighten up a little bit. Still got so much. There's so many episodes still to go. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being patient and waiting for this Fringe reaction. Not much of one. I will be back very soon with another reaction. Until then, thank you very much for watching and goodbye.